Okay, good morning students. This is a new way of teaching that I am introducing for you, since you are going to be sitting at home and watching the video. All of you turn to your first flight reader to page 140. Today's lesson is For Anne Gregory by William Butler Yeats. He lived in the 20th century, that is, as I've said, 1865 to 1959. And his name is not unfamiliar to you. We have heard it in the 9th standard, when he did the Lake of Innisfree, Island in the Lake of Innisfree, which was also by W.B. Yeats. And he was a lyrical poet. He described in that poem about the island that he had lived in his childhood, and he was remembering it late when he was in London. But this one is not a lyrical poem in that sense. It's a more realistic poem, which is written a later time in his life. And here he talks to a young girl, who may be his friend's daughter, maybe his own daughter too, we don't know, whose name is Anne Gregory. Why I give you this introduction is to understand that W.B. Yeats is not some kind of foreigner who is not connected to India. He's connected to India. How is he connected to India? Because he wrote the introduction to the Gitanjali, written by Rabindranath Tagore and translated into English, for which he won the Nobel Prize. W.B. Yeats also won the Nobel Prize for Literature. So we have a very strong connection because he was in great admiration of Tagore's works, and that is the India connection for W.B. Yeats. So if we go now to the text before I start reading the poem, these are a few words that I would like you to remember or understand before we read the text. The first word is despair, and despair is hopelessness. When you don't have any other. Hopelessness. Okay? Is despair. The second word is ramparts. This is a little tricky because ramparts is a word used in Old English style because it refers to the area surrounding a castle with high walls, and usually the kings or the nobles will come on top of the ramparts and talk to their people. We have our ramparts in Red Fort. Or as we say, this is walls high around castles or forts. You know, usually castles and fort are surrounded by a moat which is filled with water, and the royalty come to speak to their people from on top of the ramparts. In India, we have the Red Fort, which is also a fort built, and now the Prime Minister addresses the country from the ramparts of the Red Fort on August 15th, Independence Day. So you will be hearing this word ramparts on Independence Day. All commentators will say the Prime Minister is speaking to you from the ramparts of the Red Fort. So you know what ramparts is then. Dye here is for color. It could be natural color, it could be synthetic color, used for dyeing material or paints, whatever. This dye is for color, usually for coloring material. Coloring your hair. When you get grey, you can color it black, or you can color it yellow, whatever you want. This is the dye, the coloring material. Declare means the next one, which means I make an announcement. Declare is to make an announcement or say something with force. Say something with force. Then I say, I declare today is a holiday. I declare that we cannot enter the school premises after 9 o'clock. If I say that, this is a declaration which is an emphatic. I don't want to use the word emphatic. I'm saying something which is said with force. Text merely means reading material. Right? It could be a paper, it could be a book. Paper, book, whatever. That's the reading material. Yesterday night. It's a coinage. It's making a new word. Here, yester means, what is yester? The day before. When you say yesterday, yesterday, yesterday is what we are familiar with. We know what yesterday is. But if I change this yesterday and substitute by night, I meaning yesterday night, last night, so the poet combines these two and says yesterday, yesterday night, meaning yesterday night, last night. So this is a privilege for poets. They can make new coinages, new words they can create. So this part is fine, and these are some of the literary devices which you will encounter or which you will read, which you have to understand before we go to the text. One is metaphor, 2 metonymy, 3 apostrophe, 4 alliteration. Metaphor is a comparison. Like a simile, but a metaphor, as in a simile, is not compared to 2 objects. In a simile, I can say, as white as a lily. Here, I am comparing the whiteness of the lily, white and lily. So, we have as white as a lily. But in a metaphor, a comparison is slightly different. When I say, he is a lion. Do I mean that the man is a lion? No. I mean the man is as strong as a lion or as brave as a lion. I am not saying he is as brave as a lion. Then I am making it into a simile. When I make it metaphorically, I am using the character that I want to compare on the person itself. It is a kind of personification. And he is made to be as a lion. So this is a subtle difference between a between a simile and a metaphor. Metonymy is here in this poem we use the word carrot. Instead of saying orange, I use the word carrot. What am I trying to say? The hair is a carrot. Do I mean the hair is sticking out like carrots? No. I mean the hair is the color of the carrot. So instead of saying hair is the color of a carrot, I use say the hair is a carrot. I can dye my hair carrot. I can dye my hair carrot. I can dye my hair coal. So what the character of I am picking out from the carrot to attaching it to my hair. So that is called metonymy. Carrot. The whole sentence says dye carrot. An apostrophe is another one. When here in this poem, very, very, very strong, because the poet is speaking. We know. Poet is speaking. We know because he is writing the poetry. But who is the audience he is speaking to? That's not clear. All that we know, it is a girl. So when the poet is speaking and who he is speaking to, is not clear or has to be guessed, that figure of speech is called apostrophe. This I think will be very familiar to most people. Alliteration. Alliteration is when the same sound is used repeatedly in a line. You say, your yellow hair is the sixth line in the first stanza. Your. Two sequential sounds, your, and usually it is repeated in the first word. Your. Here, brown and black. This kind of repetition is called alliteration. Another device which I would like to see is the rhyme sequence. What is the rhyme sequence? This I believe we will do as we read the poem. This rhyme sequence, we will read the poem and then understand the rhyme sequence.
Should we stop?
Yes.